Right now, there is a Volkswagen sitting on a dealer lot in America that has been there for 480 days. That car has survived 2 winters, a tariff war, and 3 different sales managers trying to dump it. The industry average is 76 days of supply, but some models are sitting at 300, 400, nearly 500 days. That's not inventory. That's a parking lot hospice. These are 10 cars rotting on lots right now, and we're counting down from bad to catastrophic. Number 10, Buick Envision. 267 days of supply, over 8,300 units just sitting there nationwide. And here's the frustrating part. The Envision isn't a bad car. It's not unreliable. It doesn't look terrible. People are actually buying it at a reasonable clip. The problem is that GM built way too many of them. This is what happens when your factory runs like it's 2021 and your demand curve lives in 2026. Steady sales get absolutely buried under overproduction. Every single one of those 8,300 units is costing dealers somewhere between $40 and $85 a day in floor plan interest, insurance, and depreciation. You do that math over 267 days, and a dealer is hemorrhaging money on every Envision they can't move. If you actually want one, congratulations. You have insane leverage right now. Walk in, offer 12 to 15% below MSRP, and watch them sweat. They need you more than you need them. But if you're cross-shopping, the Honda CR-V and Toyota RAV4 are selling in under 30 days for a reason. That's where the smart money goes. But the Envision's problem is just overproduction. The next car on our list has a much bigger issue. The entire financial incentive to buy it vanished overnight. Number 9, Hyundai Ioniq 5. The Ioniq 5 is one of the fastest charging EVs you can buy. It won awards, reviewers love it, and it's taking roughly 6 months to sell right now. Here's what happened. The federal EV tax credit expired at the end of 2025. Overnight, the math on electric vehicles changed for millions of buyers. That $7,500 incentive wasn't a bonus. It was the entire reason a lot of people were willing to take the leap. Remove it, and suddenly you're asking someone to pay mid-$40,000 for a vehicle that depreciates like a laptop. Used EVs are losing roughly 58.8% of their value after 5 years, according to industry tracking. That is brutal. The average car loses 45%. EVs lose almost 60%. So you're buying a rapidly depreciating asset in a segment with expanding competition from Tesla, Ford, and Chevy, and the government just yanked away your biggest financial safety net. Hyundai's still building them because they committed billions to factory capacity years ago. The cars are fine. The market just isn't there right now. Now at least the Ioniq 5 is a genuinely good vehicle stuck in a bad situation. This next one, it never had a chance. Number 8, Mini Convertible, 224 days of supply. And honestly, this one isn't complicated. Convertibles as a category are dying. Buyers want year-round usability. They want SUVs. They want cargo space. Nobody is walking into a dealership in 2026 looking at interest rates north of 7% and saying, you know what I need? A tiny 2-door with no trunk that I can only enjoy 4 months a year. The Mini Convertible starts around 35 grand. For that money, you could get into a Mazda CX-50, a Subaru Crosstrek, or a Hyundai Tucson, all of which are practical 12 months out of the year and don't turn into freezing wind tunnels in November. This is a niche within a niche. It's a convertible from a small brand in a shrinking segment during an affordability crisis. It was never going to sell quickly. The question is why BMW keeps shipping them here. Speaking of brands that ship cars nobody's buying, wait until you see the sales numbers on this next one. They're genuinely shocking. Number 7, Alfa Romeo Giulia, 240 days of supply. Around 100 sales in the last 45 days nationwide. 100 for the entire country. The Giulia is widely considered one of the best driving sedans you can buy. Car journalists worship it. The problem is that car journalists don't buy cars in volume. Actual humans with actual money look at the Giulia and see a compact luxury sedan from a brand that Consumer Reports ranks in the bottom quartile for reliability. With a dealer network so thin, you might need to drive 2 hours for a service appointment. Meanwhile, the BMW 3 Series, the Mercedes C-Class, and the Genesis G70 all exist. They all have bigger dealer networks, better resale value, and owners who don't develop a first-name relationship with their service advisor. Stellantis has been bleeding from every brand except maybe Ram, and even that's questionable right now. Alfa Romeo is selling fewer cars per month in America than some individual Toyota dealerships move in a weekend. That's not a sales slump. That's a brand fighting for survival. And if you think 100 sales in 45 days is bad, the next Stellantis product on this list makes the Giulia look popular. Number 6, Dodge Hornet, 82%. That's how much of the 2024 Dodge Hornet inventory is still sitting on dealer lots right now. Brand new, never titled, staring at the sky. And this number comes from an IC Cars analysis of over 2.6 million listings. Let me put that differently. For every 10 Dodge Hornets that were shipped to dealers in model year 2024, 8 of them are still there. In 2026, the PHEV version is the worst offender, asking around $41,000 for what is essentially a rebadged Alfa Romeo Tonale with a Dodge grille bolted on. Sales are down 52% year over year. Stellantis killed the affordable Dodge product that people actually wanted, shoved this compact SUV into the lineup, and priced it like it was something special. The market responded by ignoring it completely. The Hornet's reliability track record is already questionable. Its resale value is in free fall because nobody wants the first one, so nobody's going to want your used one either. If a dealer offers you a screaming deal on a Hornet, just remember, a discount on a depreciating asset that's expensive to maintain isn't a deal. It's a slower bleed. But we're still in Stellantis territory, and the next entry involves the single largest pile of unsold metal in the entire country. Number 5. Ram 1500, 31,776 units. That's the number of Ram 1500 pickups available for sale nationwide right now. 115 days of supply. The single largest inventory pileup of any nameplate in America. The Ram 1500 used to be the truck that was stealing market share from Ford and Chevy. Best interior in the segment, smoothest ride, the Hemi Viv 8 was a genuine selling point. Then Stellantis did what Stellantis does. They raised prices to absurd levels and gutted the things people loved about it. The Ram 1500 Laramie now starts at $63,625 with destination. That's a 45% increase from 5 years ago when it was $43,675. Nearly $20,000 more for the same trim level. And the beloved Hemi Viv 8? Gone. Replaced by a Hurricane Inline 6 that's efficient on paper, but costs more to buy and more to service. Meanwhile, the Ford F-150 just got a refresh, the Chevy Silverado is stacking incentives, and Toyota's Tundra holds its value like a savings bond. Ram priced itself into no man's land. Too expensive for the working truck buyer, not refined enough for the luxury truck buyer who'll just get a Denali. Over 31,000 of them are waiting for someone, anyone, to walk through the door. Now 31,000 unsold trucks is staggering, but at least people know what a Ram is. The next car on this list is burning through days on the lot because half of America couldn't tell you who makes it. Number 4, Maserati Grecale. Over 300 days of supply in January 2026. That dropped slightly to 232 in February. But let's not pretend that's a recovery. That's going from catastrophic to merely terrible. The Grecale was supposed to be Maserati's volume play, a more accessible luxury crossover. But accessible still means north of $65,000, competing directly against the Porsche Macan, BMW X3, and Mercedes GLC. All of which come from brands that people actually trust to hold value and not leave them stranded. Maserati's US dealer network is tiny, brand awareness among mainstream luxury buyers is low, and Stellantis, the parent company, is simultaneously trying to fix Jeep, save Dodge, resuscitate Alfa Romeo, and figure out what to do with Chrysler. Maserati is getting the attention of a middle child in a family of 12. The Grecale is a perfectly fine car that nobody asked for, at a price nobody wants to pay, from a brand that luxury buyers consistently overlook. All right, now we're entering the top 3, and this is where the days on lot numbers stop being embarrassing and start being historic. Number 3. Dodge Charger Daytona, 406 days of market supply. And the story behind this one is honestly kind of sad. Dodge killed the last generation Charger and Challenger in late 2023. Those cars had Hemi 5.8s, they were loud, cheapish, and they sold. The fan base loved them. Then Dodge said, here's the future. And the future was a $60,000 electric coupe with fake exhaust sounds piped through something called a Fretsonic chambered exhaust. The Charger Daytona RT was so unpopular that roughly 3,500 units piled up on dealer lots. Some dealers slashed prices by over $25,000. One dealer in Florida listed a brand new 2025 with 5 miles on it for $34,000, nearly half off MSRP, and people still weren't biting. Dodge finally pulled the plug on the RT for 2026, calling it a postponement due to tariffs. Nobody believed that. Charger sales dropped 54% in 2024. The brand's total U.S. sales fell nearly 50% in the first half of 2025. Dodge is now scrambling to bring back gas-powered Chargers with a new 6-pack inline-6. But the damage is done. They took one of the most iconic muscle car nameplates in history and turned it into a cautionary tale about reading the room. If you bought a Charger Daytona at full price, you're already sitting on one of the fastest depreciating cars in America. Welcome to the club nobody wanted to join, but at least the Charger Daytona started at 60 grand. The number 2 car on this list is asking $85,000 for a Jeep, and nobody is paying it. Number 2, Jeep Grand Wagoneer, 463 days of market supply, 15 months of inventory at the current sales pace. The average transaction price sits around $85,200. $85,000 for a Jeep. A decade ago, if someone told you Jeep would be selling a vehicle for the price of a Mercedes GLS, you'd have laughed them out of the room. But here we are, and the market is laughing right back at Stellantis. The Grand Wagoneer competes directly with the Cadillac Escalade, Lincoln Navigator, BMW X7, and Mercedes GLS. Those are brands with decades of luxury credibility. Jeep's luxury credibility extends roughly as far as, we put leather seats in the Grand Cherokee once. Consumer Reports ranks Jeep dead last in reliability out of 31 brands, 31st out of 31. So you're paying luxury money for a vehicle from the least reliable brand in America, competing against vehicles with established luxury pedigrees, better resale values, and service departments that actually know how to fix them. The Grand Wagoneer isn't a car that's failing to find buyers. It's a car that was priced for a customer that doesn't exist. Whoever greenlit an $85,000 Jeep apparently skipped the focus group where people said, that's insane. And yet, even with 463 days on the lot, the Grand Wagoneer is not the slowest selling car in America. That title belongs to a vehicle that has been gathering dust for well over a year. Number 1, Volkswagen ID.4. 480 days of market supply, 16 months of inventory. The slowest selling car in America. Not just this month, last month too, and the month before that. The Volkswagen ID.4 was supposed to be VW's big electric play in the US, the affordable mainstream EV crossover that would bring the masses into the electric future. Roughly 1,500 units are listed for sale nationwide, and they are going absolutely nowhere. What went wrong? Everything, basically. The federal EV tax credit disappeared. Competitors like Tesla, Hyundai, and Ford undercut VW's pricing by a considerable margin. The ID.4's infotainment system is a laggy mess that critics have been complaining about since launch, and VW's broader EV reputation took a hit when the ID Buzz, their hyped electric van, sold fewer than 5,000 units in its first 9 months and got shelved for 2026 entirely. VW's overall brand sits at 143 days of supply. That's nearly double the industry average and the worst of any major automaker in America. Their mainstream ambitions are colliding with a market that simply has better options at every price point. The Tesla Model Y is faster, charges faster, and has better resale. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 charges faster. The Chevy Equinox EV undercuts it on price. The ID.4 was built for a market that moved on without it. And those 1,500 units on dealer lots right now? They're going to need discounts measured in the thousands, not the hundreds, to find homes. 10 cars, a combined millions of dollars in dead inventory sitting on lots across America. And the pattern is clear. Overpriced Stellantis products, EVs that lost their government lifeline, and niche vehicles nobody asked for are all collecting dust while Toyotas and Hondas sell before the transport truck leaves the parking lot. If you're shopping right now, this is your leverage. High inventory means desperate dealers. Desperate dealers means discounts. Just make sure the deal isn't a ticking time bomb that craters in value the second you drive it off the lot. The video on screen right now covers the cars doing the exact opposite. The ones flying off lots, holding value, and making their owners look smart. Click it now